Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as breaking news. MicroStrategy increased its raise to $875 million to buy more Bitcoin and redeem outstanding notes. This is off the back of just acquiring $1.1 billion worth of the biddy. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, El Salvador is the first country in the world to pull away from the globalists and their centralized banks. Everything you think the U.S. stands for, but no longer does, can be found in President Bukele's El Salvador. We'll also be discussing U.S. government U.S. government cites Caroline Ellison's extraordinary cooperation before sentencing, which is supposed to occur later this month. We'll also be discussing Vitalik Buterin sings at token 2049. Please say it ain't so. Highlights low layer 2 fees as an Ethereum milestone. We'll also be discussing some pro-crypto Trumpers suggest they lost the vote in Trump after this recent token launch, which occurred this Friday. We'll be breaking down the latest with the Trump coin, as well as very close former Goldman Sachs executive hints at Bitcoin breakout rallies amid rising liquidity, sending the Bitcoin price action to $90,000 per coin. And speaking of bullish price projections, another crypto strategist unveils his big Bitcoin price target for 2025 of $220,000 and predicts the US dollar collapse along the way. Bye-bye dollar. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. What's poppin'? Welcome everyone on the stream. Shout out Alan Liu, a new member of the Hodl Gang. And for those that don't know, you can become a member of the Hodl Gang here on the YouTube channel for less than 10 cents a day. Help support your boy. It's greatly appreciated. So welcome, Alan. Shout out all the Hodl Gang members, MicroStrategy members, Satoshi members, and Grayscale members of the channel. Shout out Shortcoin, Silas, Friedman, welcome. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. Yesterday, we had technical glitches throughout the stream, so hopefully today we're good to go. And if you're just joining us, we are live right now on X, Rumble, and YouTube. So if you can share the stream, especially over on X, it's greatly appreciated. I'm actually going to go ahead and pin the show to the top of my profile so it's easy to find. Here we go. Pin to the profile. Yeah, so it's going to look like this. When you go to my profile, you'll notice it pinned at the very top. If you can just hit the heart, that's going to help out. And if you can hit the repost button, those two arrows. And if you leave a quote or a comment on the stream, I promise to repost it, shout you out, and follow you back. Welcome, everybody. Vitalik distracted with his girlfriend. Well, apparently he's singing. I don't know what song he is singing. Sounds great. Thank you, Shortcoin. Welcome to the stream. Shout out Wrench Whisperer. Had to change my PFP. What does that stand for? Trying to keep me all anin. Word up. Ahoy, Captain JV and CNA Pirate Crew. Welcome. Good morning. Hodl and chill. Morning, broski. Another early stream.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day. Maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Welcome, everyone, to the live stream. Again, we're streaming on 3 platforms, live and in the flesh. We're on X, we're on Rumble, and we're on YouTube. Shout out to Steven. I appreciate the repost of the stream. We're live now, 12 p.m. on the tube. Thanks, brother. Shout out JCIS, our one and only Oracle. Appreciate the repost, as always. Several reposts. Shout out Shortcoin. Shout out Digital Dankness, and the rest of the fam. Always appreciate the sharing. It does help out a lot. Oh, profile picture. I got you, homie. I got to get with that X lingo, apparently, Wrench Whisperer. Welcome, everyone, to the stream. Let me know how your day is going thus far. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure we tapped, 61.5. Today, a bit of a pullback, but it is what it is. We're still maintaining above 59,500. Shortly, we'll be pulling up some of the live charts, the latest TA, the latest news, Sailor, purchasing more Bitcoin as always. The combination made my funds bleed. And JV's caffeinated today. I just had a big 8-ounce cup of coffee, if that's considered big. I know some of you are like sipping on 32 ounces of coffee, but for me, that's big. FOMC meeting today. Oh yeah, J-Pal, let's pump this mofo up. That's right, Greg. Thanks for the reminder. So that's at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, roughly 2 hours. We're going to get a big FOMC meeting. Let's see how the markets react to that. Let me know if you're anticipating bullish sentiment or bearish sentiment. Also, I have a live poll in the chat. You'll notice on the tube, I asked when $100,000 Bitcoin. Do you think October, November, December, or next year? Let me know. 5 hens and 2 roosters and the new chicks. Congratulations. That's fantastic. They are cuties, by the way. You need to pull up in some Twitter spaces. I know. Twitter spaces. I don't think I've done any of them yet. Appreciate the repost, guys. Yo, let's get some alpha. Thank you, Cobbers. Much appreciated. And as I promised, I just followed you back. I appreciate the comment, and I just reposted your comment, brother. And that goes for anyone else as well. You're going to notice the feed at the top of my... or the stream at the top of my X feed. Much appreciated. Crypto News Alerts always here to keep up with the Bukele fan club members, updated with what's going on. You know I be preaching Bukele-nomics. Shout out Bukele. Everything and anything happening. Let's get it. 100 G's, baby. Shout out to the OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg. Welcome to the stream. Let's freaking go. We already got about 200 people here. Spread the word. Let them know I'm going to be live for the next couple of hours. We do got a lot to share. It's going to be a pretty lit session, as it always is. So yeah, let's kick it off without further ado. If you're new to the channel, important to smash the likes and go ahead and subscribe. It's free to do so. Half the people that watch the channel are not subscribed. What's going on? Then hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. Today is pod episode 1761. I'm your host, JV. It's September 18th, 2024. Market is correcting a bit today after a nice pump yesterday of over 3,000. Today we're down 1,500, but maintaining above $59,500 at the time of this live stream. And checking out our market watch, let's pull up Coin 360. You can see the majority of the market correcting and in the red. Bitcoin down roughly 3%, Ether down 3.5%. Everything virtually in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits still above 2 trillion. We're at 2.05 trillion. Bitcoin market cap is at $1.17 trillion. We got roughly 67 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. And the Bitcoin dominance says 57.3%, Ether dominance all the way down to 13.5%. I believe Ethereum is at like a 44-month low against Bitcoin. I'll let that sink in. And checking out the SOT100 crypto gainers past 24-hour, very modest gains as virtually nothing is in the green, but we do have CKB up 5%, BNX up 4%, and SU up 1%. But as you can see, virtually everything correcting in the red. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day. Yesterday, everything was in the green. Today, we flip. Literally 95% of the market in the red. And zooming out on the monthly, we get a broader perspective. I'd say maybe 65-35 in the green. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index today, we're 45 fear. Yesterday 33, last week at 37, and last month at 28 in fear. And checking out the time chain calendar, which is the original term. Instead of blockchain, it was actually the time chain, according to Satoshi. Let's see if this updates. We're currently on block height number 861,866, 188,134 blocks to go into the next halving, which will more than likely take place in April of 2028. TikTok next block virtually every 10 minutes. You can currently trade $1 for 1,679 Satoshis. So let me ask you the question, would you rather have $1 or 1,679 Satoshis? Let me know in the chat, family. And welcome everyone just joining the stream. JV live and in the flesh. We're streaming all across the world on 3 platforms right now: X, Rumble, and YouTube. So let's go. Shout out Dangness. Good to see you, brother. Shout out Zach. That's right. Don't forget to subscribe to the #1 Bitcoin music channel, Chandy 10 Music. Link in the chat. Let's go, Bitcoin. The Oracle, I remember Grandpa Jim walking into the house and announcing to Gladys, "We're having chicken for dinner." Grabbed the shotgun and blasted the rooster. Good Lord. Shouty, chillin', dankness. Brooklyn, shout out Serge. Good to have you here, brother. The rules of the game: don't dox anyone in the chat. Don't disrespect the chat. The mods are JV. Don't spam the chat with repeating comments. Don't start anything with anyone in the chat. Any of these will get you banned. You've heard it first and foremost from the Oracle. Thank you. Shout out to our incredible mods. Nothing burger today, but maybe a Sunday night pump this weekend. I am waiting for the cooler weather to harvest a couple of my roosters that are mean. Smash the likes and subscribe. Repost on crypto Twitter. X, I appreciate that, Serge. Coffee, that's right. I got the coffee today, bro. I'm caffeinated, JV. 100% I'm with you on that, Judson. I'll take the 1,679 Satoshis over the dollar. Fiat money any day of the week. We need some strawberry moon because super moon, super bullish. That's right. Is that super moon today? I know it was coming up this week. So yeah, you already know. But anyways, welcome everyone joining the stream. I'm going to be streaming for the next couple of hours. We're still flirting with 60 G's.
Bitcoin, 60 G's, 60 G's. Buying opportunity for fifth level 60 G's. What do you think, JV?
Shout out Catherine Weaver. Appreciate the repost as you do each and every day. I just reposted you. Who cares about a roaring kitty, boring kitty? I'm for the bitty. I'm for the nippinator. I'm for Nipsey. That's right, on X. Thank you, Serge. Harvest the full moon last night? Okay. Well, we got a full moon out there, family. Let's go. Shout out Jason Buck. Good to have you here, brother.
For the weed, I go kit kat, kitty cat, the kitty cat. I'm
stacking the sats.
Stack the sats. Ain't no thing, baby. It's a chance to stack those sats.
A chance to stack those bitties. Wow, short coins on our second cup. I got catching up to do. I'm almost done. There's virtually nothing in here. It's like there. So I've been drinking this coffee for the past hour. It takes me a while to drink it. Some people can just straight up drink coffee. I don't know how they do it. And I got to have water next to me or I get dehydrated. I'm like old school or something. I don't know.
Chance to stack those bitties. Baby, you never heard about me with another coin.
Drank all my coffee. I need more. It's a cloudy, boring day. I feel you, big dog. Well, enjoy your day out there in Brooklyn, New York City. But let's kick it off with our Bitcoin technical analysis. We'll also pull up some of the live charts. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Lots to cover here today. Headline reads, Bitcoin price going to see 64,000 very quickly on the Fed rate cut. We got Jay Powell speaking in roughly 2 hours, family. So let me know if you think we'll hit 64,000 here soon. Now, Capriole founder Charles Edwards would not be surprised at that 64,000 level. Bitcoin stands to benefit exponentially from the macroeconomic shifts in Q4, right around the corner, 2 weeks to go, family. Itself, the market's best quarter historically. That's a fact. And while barely moving in the past month, Bitcoin is now primed to resume its classic bull market moves should the Fed drop the interest rates at its September 18th meeting, which again is in 2 hours. Jay Powell is supposed to speak, I believe, at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Quoting them here from the report, this marks the start of the new dovish Fed policy regime, the first significant change since late 2021, when the Fed notified of their hawkish regime shift, and which saw rates rise from 0 to 5.5% in 18 months. This hawkish regime also coincided with Bitcoin's collapse from 60,000 down to 15 Gs, 15, 30, 45, 4x difference. Wow, right? We are now at the start of the exact opposite regime, and bearing any bearish surprises from the Fed, Bitcoin has 64,000 in sight, locked and loaded, having preserved weekly support as shown on the charts. We're going to be pulling up the live charts here shortly. Quoting them again here, while ugly and still in a trend of lower highs and lower lows, weekly support is responding well at 58,000 today. A weekly close above 64,000 would end the 7-month sequence of lower highs and likely see us travel back in the range of 70 Gs with haste and probably beyond. And current all-time high is 73.8, so that's the number we need to reach to re-enter price discovery. Nonetheless, the technicals picture is mixed at best and bearish at worst, until the range and monthly resistance of 60,000 is reclaimed, which we're only a few hundred shy of here this morning. Now, based on the current response to the weekly 58,000 level and given the major Fed event here now in 2 hours, I would not be surprised to see that level taken very quickly to the upside, provided no bearish surprises from Jay Powell. So we'll soon find out. Now, another report from on-chain data shows concerns over shifting Bitcoin supply trends, arguing a new phenomena, such as the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs have skewed perspectives. Quoting them here, this is again Charles Edwards. 2024 has seen massive capital redistribution as a result of the ETF launch in Mt. Gox. The ETF launch was officially January 11th. I believe BlackRock's already done over 20 billion in volume. This capital movement has mischaracterized many on-chain metrics and told us a false narrative. And going further still, the findings suggest this data covering supply ownership by time spent dormant metrics, which give rise to the popular long-term hodler and short-term hodler cohorts, are unreliable reliable in 2024, quoting them here. In short, the last 6 months has seen on-chain metrics be massively manipulated by huge supply reclassification, which on net did not see any significant organic long-term hodler selling. This resulted in many on-chain metrics seeing extremely bearish readings comparable to the prior cycle tops, as discussed 2 months ago in update number 52. This means that any on-chain metrics with long-term hodler data or supply last active more than XX months/years cannot be trusted this year in 2024. Yet these classifications form the basis of a significant portion of valuable on-chain metrics, as outlined here. Edwards sees a bullish midterm picture for the King Crypto, quoting him again. With Bitcoin trading within 2% of our last update, our view from issue 53 is that we are at a major pivot point, which remains. He's referencing the time around the Fed policy easing, Q4 traditionally when Bitcoin puts in the best performance, with Bitcoin also due to end its standard post-halving consolidation period, quoting him again. What lies ahead? Seasonally, we have the best 2 quarters just 2 weeks ahead of us, which are also within the best 12 to 18 month window to be allocated to Bitcoin every 4 years. And at the start of the dovish Fed multi-year regime, which will see growing liquidity injected into risk assets. We also have gold paving consistent new all-time highs. I believe it hit 2,600 the other day. New all-time high, that's right. You couldn't ask for more favorable conditions for the King Crypto. And I mean, here's history, the tail of the tape. Average fourth quarter, 88%, right? Medium, 56%. So we're going to have a bullish fourth quarter. You already know. And some breaking news, MicroStrategy did announce purchasing like 700 more million worth of Bitcoin the other day. Well, they already increased it to 875 million to buy more Bitcoin to redeem outstanding notes. And keep in mind, they just purchased 1.1 billion. So he's continuing to stack stats like there's no tomorrow. Shout out to the Giga Chad. And Max Kaiser, in response to Nayib Bukele's post the other day, financial independence announcement on Independence Day. And Max responded, El Salvador is the first country in the world to pull away from the globalists and the centralized banks. Everything you think the United States stands for but no longer does can be found in President Nayib Bukele's El Salvador. Preach. And shout out Max Kaiser and the beautiful people of El Salvador. And let's pull up some of the live charts. You should be able to see here on your screen. Bitcoin currently sitting just above 59,600 via Coinbase, via TradingView is what we're looking at right now. We do have a rising wedge formation breakout. We do have a bullish target sitting just shy of 64,000. We also have a bearish target sitting at 51,600. This is according to the 1 hour chart. And again, this is live and in the flesh. Let's check out the 4 hour chart via Coinbase, via TradingView. And as you can see here, a lot of targets, a lot of things going on. We have a $82,000 bullish target. And we do have a bearish target of 51.6. And we have a super bearish target sitting all the way down at 32,800. Good Lord. Let me know if you feel the bottom is in. And from there, let's check out the 1 day chart. Pretty bullish overall. We do have a big blue target sitting at 82,000. And we have a big bearish blue target sitting all the way down in the $33,000 range. And you can see we do have a formation. We had a nice pumpage yesterday, rising over 3,000, but today has been a consolidation thus far. And zooming out, we'll check out the 1 week, which still has that sexy cup and handle pattern sitting at just, I think, 128-ish. Oh, it went back down. Today it's 124.5, but I'll take it. That's my Q4 target for this year. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Do you think we can hit that cup and handle between October and December? And zooming out a little further, we'll get a broader perspective on the 1 month. Again, live and in the flesh. Welcome everyone just joining us. It's been boring, sideways trading action. I mean, beginning of the year, we were pumping. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months has been pretty sideways. Let me know if you feel we'll close bullish for this month of September. We have less than 2 weeks to go. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let me know your thoughts, family. And welcome everyone just joining the stream. Anonymous, welcome, brother. Everything and anything happening. I like my coffee as black as my soul. Yeah, they're always like, would you like sugar with that? No, thank you. Are you sure you need sugar? No, thank you. Do you know I had to convince them to use my cup? It took me like 2 minutes. The guy's like, I put it in the paper cup, and then you can pour it in your stainless steel cup. And then I had to explain that's not what I want. But I put it in the paper cup, and you put it in. And then I had to explain. I'm like, yo, okay, the paper cups that you serve is filled with plastic, hence why it doesn't melt from the hot substance. And then I get billions of microplastics drinking in my coffee, which poison me. I don't want your poison today. So can you please use my cup? I don't want it in the paper cup. Do you understand? Oh, I got to use the paper cup. And after another 2 minutes of convincing and getting very loud, he's like, okay, sir, you're going to get it in your cup. Thank you. But it's like pulling teeth around here. You feel me? Welcome, everyone joining the stream. Let me check the X feed again. We're live and in the flesh on X, Rumble, and YouTube. Shout out High Priority Network. I appreciate it, brother. Again, anyone who reposts the stream with a comment or a quote will get reposted and shouted out, and I'll follow you back. He put, come get your live crypto news right now. Amen. Just reposted it, brother. #1 Bitcoin pod. Thank you for just reposted you, brother. JV, that guy is right about the X spaces. You need to pull up on some spaces to grow that following, get some crypto alpha. This is one coming I recommend pulling up. Thank you, brother, for sharing. I got to look more into these spaces. I'm really not familiar with them, but why not, right? Yeah, welcome everyone joining us. JV, no paper cup. I know, but they try to convince you that they have to put it in the paper cup. We're taught to put it in the paper cup. And then they're like, but our paper cup's the proper size. I'm like, this is the same size as the paper cup. I get coffee here every day. Just put it in my cup. And finally, it took convincing, though. I issue not. I'm not making that up. It's crazy. They just resort back to paper cup. You put the coffee in the metal cup and drink it all up. Booyah. Exactly. I don't use the paper cup either. Yeah, I always bring my own cup because I don't want to drink the microplastics. I'm not stupid. The Starbucks cups are poison. All of the coffee cups are poison. Styrofoam is poison. Plastic is poison. And the paper cups coated with the plastic are poison. I'm not stupid. Paper is better than... Yeah, Styrofoam's the worst, I hear. That's what I hear. Styrofoam's the absolute worst. But they're all bad. So just bring a damn cup and make them fill that mofo up. Easy. Forever, Laura. That's right. It's going up forever.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no...
And I want to order, I've been drinking water out of my glass custom cup. That's my old fitness brand, Shred Alchemy. But I want to get a copper cup. There's a lot of good properties, obviously, when your water is in copper. Copper is like magical. So I need to order a custom copper cup. That's on my list to order when I go to Amazon, along with updating all my supplements I run out of.
Second best.
I'm not saying I'm #1. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm #1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, robots do what they're taught. Pretty much. Paper is better than, yep, agree. Put the lotion in the basket. They're finding that newborns have microplastics in their brains. Yeah, I've noticed. I saw some of those studies. I'm trying to build up my resistance to the modern world. It's taken me decades. I think I have a good resistance. Cop some Bitcoin merch, merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. We're going to get medical mafia out of the business, baby. Yeah, let's make America healthy again. Please. It's gone down the tubes. I mean, obviously. But anyways, welcome to the stream, everybody. Appreciate y'all's support. I see we got 400 people here. Please do share this on X. It does help. Let's orange pill the masses. Bitcoin looking to retest 60 Gs. Shout out RL Sweezy. What it do? Exactly, Robert. We're so plastic. Everything's plastic, 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 poison, poison, poison. It's hard to make people think these days, especially the young people. It's like if they don't see it, they don't believe it. It's crazy. But yeah, it's true. It's so true. But let's continue with the news, yo. Our next story of the day. Here's the latest with Caroline Ellison. What was it? Alameda Research CEO. Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend. The one with the grippy from Mississippi. If you know what I'm saying. Headline reads, U.S. government cites Caroline Ellison's extraordinary cooperation before sentencing. Extraordinary, eh? Come on now. Former Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison set to face a sentence hearing. Wow, next week, September 24th. Let's go. She may receive a lenient sentence after a recommendation from the U.S. prosecutors. In a September 17th filing in the U.S. District Court of the Southern District in New York, U.S. attorneys wrote to Judge Kaplan to inform him of Ellison's extraordinary I've never heard prosecutors put in a good word for the defendant, ever. In the prosecution of former FTX CEO Bankman-Fried, as well as her assistants into the wrongdoing at Alameda Research and FTX, according to prosecutors, she provided credible and compelling testimony against Bankman-Fried at trial and was forthcoming. Typically, they say the opposite. So it's just ironic. She's obviously well connected, her and her family, about her grave misconduct. Now, Ellison played a core role in Bankman-Fried's criminal schemes. But as the government noted in Bankman-Fried's sentencing submission, only he was involved in all aspects of the schemes, said the filing. Ellison never worked at FTX and played no role in designing and coding systems that granted Alameda special treatment on FTX and permitted Alameda to accrue a negative balance on FTX by withdrawing FTX customer funds. Now, prosecutors seem to focus much of the blame for the crimes in the indictment on Bankman-Fried, but acknowledge Ellison willingly participated in misconduct as Alameda CEO. And according to prosecutors, at SBF's discretion, Ellison and others borrowed billions of dollars in FTX user funds to pay Alameda lenders. Now, cooperating after the FTX collapsed November of 2022, Ellison began cooperating with U.S. government officials December 8th, pleading guilty to 7 counts of wire fraud, commodities fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. She testified at Bankman-Fried's trial October 2023 that she had created fraudulent balance sheets, fraud, to cover up Alameda's borrowing $10 billion from FTX. Sounds guilty to me. She admitted it. And although it was not her responsibility to interface directly with the FTX customers, she played a limited role in a conspiracy to defraud FTX investors. How many of you were impacted by that fraud? Let me know. Including by agreeing to hide info from FTX auditors. More fraud, said the September 17th filing. It's all fraud. They get a percentage of the fraud. This is the business model, quoting the great Max Kaiser. Bankman-Fried was convicted on all 7 felony counts in a March 2024 hearing. Judge Kaplan sentenced him to 25 years in prison. September 13th, his lawyers filed an appeal more recently of the conviction and sentence, and since appearing in court for her testimony, and if you don't know, anything can be appealed. And nothing is really final in a court of law until it's at the Supreme Court level. You know what I mean? So they're taking advantage of that. Ellison's whereabouts and activities have been largely unknown to the general public. On September 10th, after months of little movement in her criminal case, her lawyers requested time served and 3 years supervised release. So interesting. Little movement. Her lawyers requested time served. It doesn't say how much time. She's scheduled to appear in court on September 24th for her sentencing. Again, next week. Quoting them here, Ellison's testimony was critical to indict and convict Bankman-Fried and to understanding both the timeline of the fraud schemes and the various layers of wrongdoing. In short, the what and how of the crimes, as well as the why, would have been difficult to prove without Ellison's testimony. And at the very least, the government's evidence on these points would have been incomplete. So it sounds like she was a cooperative rat, as we call it on the streets, right? And according to the U.S. prosecutors, she ratted on her ex-boyfriend. Hilarious. Ellison also provided valuable assistance in civil cases brought by the SEC, the SEC. The 2 regulators filed lawsuits against Bankman-Fried, but agreed to defer the case to the conclusion of his criminal trial. Now, will she get prison time? Given the similar filings from Ellison's lawyers and prosecutors citing the cooperation, it's unclear whether Judge Kaplan will sentence her to prison time. So it sounds like she's going to get probation from the gist of what I'm reading here. The filing described the former CEO's earnest remorse for her involvement. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal the $10 billion and write fraudulent things. Oops. And being the subject of intense scrutiny by the media, including Bankman-Fried, who released Ellison's online journals to New York Times reporters. Quoting them here, the government cannot think of another cooperating witness in recent history who has received a greater level of attention and harassment. The attendant professional consequences level notoriety are obviously and unlikely to be short-lived. But here's my prediction, family, and you tell me what you guys think in the chat. I think Bankman-Fried's going to end up, if he don't win the appeal, he'll eventually get pardoned by the Biden administration. Why? Because he was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party, and his parents are well connected, obviously. So I think he's going to get out, even though he has 25 years right now. Caroline, more than likely, from the gist of what I just read, sounds like she's not going to get any jail. The prosecutors are already buttering her up to the judge, and typically that's not something I ever heard prosecutors do. Usually they want to prosecute the hell out of you and keep you in prison as long as possible. So considering what I just found out, I think she just gets some probation. slap on the wrist. Bad girl. You know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts regarding Caroline Ellison, Scam Bankman-Fried. And isn't it ironic? His last name is Bankman-Fried. They're going to free the Bankman. The world is a play. Or quoting Shakespeare, the world is a stage. Are you not entertained? Let me know, family. And welcome everyone just joining the stream. Holla at your boy. What's poppin'? Let me know. I'm going to read the comments out loud.
Bitcoin on my mind, on my Bitcoin, and my Bitcoin on my mind. 60 G's, 60 G's, a buying opportunity.
Wow. And I appreciate that comment, Cooler J. He says, I don't even think he's really in jail. Nothing would surprise me anymore, family. Unless we saw it with our own eyes. Of course, they released some leaked photos, but who really knows? You know what I mean? Who really knows what's really going on? You know what I mean?
Bitcoin. But I don't sweat it because it's just pathetic to let it get me involved in that sell on the...
Oh, FYI, before I forget, tomorrow we're going to be 11 a.m. I got to do an extra hour early stream because I have a business appointment at 1 that I got to get to, which is a little far. So we're going to be streaming a little early tomorrow, 11 a.m. Speaking of 11, my divine omen. Morning, fellas. Shout out Bring Facts. Shout out Diana Jones. Welcome, family. Shout out Mick Foofinator. I come from an old Sicilian family. I hate snitches, JV. Yeah, we call them rats. Rats. Shout out Matt McCrae. He put crypto news alerts. Appreciate it, brother. Just reposted you over on X. Hodl and Chill. Appreciate the repost, brother. He put, come join and get your daily Bitcoin alpha. Respect, family. Just reposted you. And that goes for anyone else as well. Anyone who reposts the stream over on X is getting reposted and shouted out. And if I'm not already following you, I'll be sure to follow you. Shout out Thomas Diggs. He's back and he's the best crypto show on the earth. Greatly appreciate that, brother. Just reposted that. Yeah. Exactly. So, 10 a.m. Central Time. You got it, facts. Vitalik isn't playing around. He's not suffering, fools. They rub off on him. Speaking of Vitalik, we'll be discussing him here shortly with the updates. He was apparently singing at this event. I don't know what he was singing yet, and I don't want to listen to it, but yeah, he apparently is a singer and has a girlfriend now. He's a changed man. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy hump day. Halfway through the week. Amen, Ashley. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Shout out everyone just joining us. I see we got 500 people on the stream. Not too shabby. I'm going to sip some more water, and then we'll continue with the news.
The dip crowd sell on the dip crowd. Dip sell, dope sell, nope sell, no Bitcoin sell. I'm no sellout. Bitcoin. Roger out, Roger out.
Do. The Slippy Grippy from Mississippi. You already know. Next story. Let's discuss this man, Vitalik. Headline here reads, Vitalik Buterin sings at token 2049. Highlights low layer 2 fees as Ethereum's milestone. And yes, as we covered in yesterday's pod, Ethereum is at a 44-month low in comparison to Bitcoin. So the ETH/BTC. ETH hasn't been performing so well. Now, check this out. Vitalik Buterin emphasized the significance of the decline in transaction fees within the Ethereum ecosystem before reflecting on some of the most iconic crypto-themed songs from the past. Oh boy. Speaking about the crypto industry evolution, Buterin noted he previously high transaction fees were among the main challenges of the mainstream adoption. However, transaction fees on Ethereum's layer 2 networks have gone down to basically zero, marking a significant milestone for crypto, according to Buterin, who said during his speech at Token 2049 in Singapore, quoting him here, from being somewhere between $10.50 to being under a penny, basically zero. At the same time, Optimism and Arbitrum, two major Ethereum layer 2s, have hit the important security milestone. So rollups are rapidly becoming safer and rollups are finally affordable. And here you go. This was the man of the hour at Token 2049 in Singapore. Now, Ethereum gas fees or transaction fees previously skyrocketed to over $200. I remember those days for high priority transactions during the peak network congestion. I remember trying to send something on the, ERC20 network $500 to send $10. It was outrageous. That was a few years ago. Layer 2 networks are essential for making the Ethereum mainnet cheaper and more scalable by offloading some of the transactions from the mainnet to the secondary chain. In the past, Buterin said he was forced to pay over $800 in gas fees for a single privacy-preserving transaction. Imagine trying to send $10 to your friend. $800 fee. Crazy, right? Now, beyond the decreasing L2 transaction fees that make crypto more usable for day-to-day transactions, Ethereum's confirmation time also saw significant improvement. Ethereum's transaction confirmation time saw significant improvement thanks to the merge, which transitioned Ethereum to a proof-of-stake network in September of 2022. In my opinion, that was the downfall of Ethereum, because ever since that so-called merge has been on the decline in comparison to Bitcoin, as Bitcoin's been clearly outpacing ETH. But Buterin explained here, one of the things that the merge did is it also cut in half the average waiting time until the next block. And so with both of those things, actually these days, I quietly have my transactions confirmed in 5 to 15 seconds. Now, to the delight of crypto enthusiasts, Buterin also took a moment to reflect on some of the most iconic anthems from the past crypto projects, as outlined right here. Interesting, eh? Looking forward, Buterin noted the industry needs to cater to the needs of the mainstream while upholding the ethos of decentralization. What is he referring to? I mean, come on now. Is he pretending Ethereum is decentralized or something? I mean, anyways, Buterin noted we need to strive for both industry practicality while maintaining decentralization. So is that what you call the Ethereum Foundation working with the United States government because it's decentralized? It just don't make any sense. But anyways, he said, we need to satisfy the needs of the mainstream adoption, and we need to hold open source decentralization values at the same time, he said. And finally, Buterin urged industry participants to strive for practical solutions to facilitate the next wave of mass adoption without sacrificing the industry's inherent decentralization. So one of the things I'm aware of is they can turn back the clock on their blockchain, whatever they refer to it on the Ethereum net, and they can reverse transactions. They've done that before. And now that it is no longer proof of work and it's proof of stake, they changed their entire model and protocol. If they can do it once, they can do it again. And also, let's throw out the obvious. Ethereum has a infinite max supply, according to coinmarketcap.com, meaning nobody can tell you the max supply of Ethereum. The same way no one can tell you the max supply of gold. In the same way no one can tell you the max supply of silver. In the same way no one can tell you the max supply of diamonds. Same thing. So kind of crazy. But anyways, let me know your thoughts regarding Ethereum in comparison to Bitcoin. Do you think Ether has the potential to outpace the Biddy? Or do you think Bitcoin will continue eating away at it as it has been for the past 44 months? Holla at your boy. Stacks better. Amen. I like Stacks myself. That's a BRC20. That's on the Bitcoin blockchain. 225,000 end of the year. Send it, Oracle, and let's celebrate. Yeah, we ruined ETH and made it cheaper and faster. Neat, says Data. The truth shall set you free, says Kenton Dragon. Trump's DeFi, once deployed, might help the ETH spaces. Speaking of that, we're going to be discussing the new Trump coin and project, which just went live a couple of days ago here shortly. I didn't get to, I don't know what song he sang, but I have no desire to listen to it. But imagine if he had like a voice like freaking R. Kelly or something. I believe I can fly. We're like, what? Hey, JV, it's been a while since I've seen you. Live, loyal listener, brother. Keep up the great work. Appreciate it, Talent Bird. Unfortunately, like, nobody gets notifications on YouTube, so that might be why. That's why it's important you're following me on X and Rumble, because we do stream on YouTube, X, and Rumble. So hopefully you're able to find me. I'm live every day. It's just the time does switch up from time to time. So, for example, today I'm live at 12, and tomorrow I'm going to be streaming a little extra early at 11. And then by Friday, I'll be back to 4 p.m. again for the new week. So, 58 gang, get lost. Shout out One Glencoe. What up, broski? I appreciate the repost, Glenn. He put Bitcoin News is live now in the Rumble and the YouTube. Much respect, brother. Just reposted you. Diana Jones, thank you so much. Best Live Crypto News, just reposted you. Bitcoin Boet, appreciate it. Listen up. If you know about Bitcoin or not, listen to the pod. Amen, brother. Thank you for the support. And again, thank you, Matt McCrae, Huddle and Chill, Thomas Diggs, the rest of the fam, High Priority Network, you guys are amazing. YouTube chat, censor working hard on me. Sorry to hear that, Greg. YouTube censorship sucks. X has been consistent on the notifications. Amen. I'm really digging X. In all sincerity, right now on X, we have 460 viewers. We got about 160 on YouTube. So our audience, our live audience on X is way bigger than our live audience on YouTube, even though our live audience on YouTube used to be thousands. Apparently, I'm shadow banned, and it seems virtually impossible to get more than 200 people on my streams any longer on YouTube. However, we get thousands of people on the live stream on X, makes up for the slack from YouTube. And of course, we're now live on Rumble as well. So I'm embracing the uncensored platforms, hence why we're on X and Rumble alongside the censorship of the YouTube. You feel me? Smash the like. Thank you. Leash Waked. Let's go. Good to have you back. Good. What's poppin'? What's good? Welcome, everyone just joining the stream. I think Bitcoin's about to rip in the fourth quarter. I think we're like less than 2 weeks away going parabolic. I'm very optimistic. I do have a poll up in the chat on the tube. If you guys can participate, win $100,000 Bitcoin October, November, December, or next year. And towards the end of the stream, I'll end the poll and I will read that. Also, we're going to be doing a uncensored extended version of the pod as we do every day, and we're going to be reacting to the new Y files. I finally downloaded it. It's actually an interesting topic, the Oracle. It's about alien implants. So if that interests you, yeah, stick around. Good evening, everyone. Shout out Ricky Norwood. Good to have you here. Bitcoin will pump. It always does. It always does. Good omens on the screen, 11, 71, 77. I'm a numbers guy. But anyways, welcome everyone joining us. We appreciate y'all's support. Still a lot to cover, so let's continue. Here's the latest with Trump's project from the Trump family that just went live officially 2 days ago. I believe on the 16th, Monday. Here's the headline. Some pro-crypto Trumpers suggest he lost their votes after the token launch. Less than 24 hours after the Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump announced plans to launch a token through his World Liberty Financial Project, many crypto users criticized the move through social media. In August, Trump and his sons Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump began teasing a decentralized finance project through X without many details regarding its purpose. The Republican candidate made headlines September 12th announcing that he would host an X Spaces discussion about World Liberty Financial on September 18th. And in the lead up to the X Spaces event, some pro-crypto Trump supporters expressed skepticism about the idea. Castle Island Ventures partner Nick Carter reportedly said the project was a huge mistake, claiming his campaign was cashing in on his recent embrace of the crypto in a kind of naive way. The X Spaces event revealed few details about the project besides the leaders' plan to launch a WLFI token, which they did not consider a security under the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's purview. Some crypto users took to social media to suggest that Trump had lost their vote by associating him with the project. Quoting them here. This is coming from You Should Relax. Or, I'm sorry, Mitchell Askew. Trump launching an Ishcoin may have been the final straw to lose my vote. It is one thing for him to be pro-crypto instead of just pro-Bitcoin. Not everyone is a maxi, I get it. But it's another thing to drop a 70% pre-mined token on his followers 7 weeks before the election. This just adds to a growing list of unforced errors from the Trump campaign. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. Others on X who seem to support the Republican candidate did not explicitly say they wouldn't be voting for him in November, but suggested the timing of the WLFI project was bad and potentially risky. The project's launch came less than a week after many pundits said Democratic presidential candidate and Vice President Harris won a televised debate. I didn't see a single individual who said that Harris won the debate, but I guess to each their own. With Trump tightening what will be an extremely close election. And before the voter who is not a staunchly single issue Bitcoin or more broadly crypto voter, there are so many other issues that I can't say there's a proof of pivot, according to Penn State Dickinson law professor Tanya Evans and the author of Digital Money Demystified. Those who are not single issue voters have to take a second look at the reality. Trump did not speak clearly or well about the logistics of the plan. This was built up as the moment that we get a plan, not concepts of a plan. On single issue crypto voters, Evans added, I don't see it costing Trump any support. I see some jokes. I see that segment of the industry a little more quiet than they were earlier, but I haven't seen any virtue signaling or otherwise that they would make a different decision. I kind of agree with her. I think most people already predetermine who they're going to vote for. I don't think the debate changed anyone's mind, very few. And I don't think the Trump token is forcing people to, vote elsewise, even though I also agree that the token is a bad idea. I don't think Trump needed to associate himself with it, but it is what it is. With 49 days until the U.S. election, many polls showed that Harris was neck and neck with Trump. And I don't agree or believe any of the polls, because I remember, was it the 2016 election versus Clinton? They're like 95% chance Hillary won. Trump doesn't even have a chance. He might as well just drop out now. They all reported the same bullshit. And then what happened? Trump won. So you really don't know who to believe when it comes to these polls. You know what I mean? They can screw the numbers. But anyways, unlike Trump, Vice President Harris has not made a crypto part of her economic platform. And I'll just point out the obvious. Harris and the Democrats are anti-crypto, hence why they put Gary Gensler in power to rain down on crypto and to use their power to overreach and ultimately shake down the industry, deem everything an unregistered security. They've been doing a fantastic job at. Senator Warren, who else? They're clowns and goons. There's a bunch of them. Referred to them as the Three Stooges. That's what at least Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki coins them. But let me know your thoughts regarding this. Soon I'll need 10 different apps to follow various creators. I don't think he should have launched his own coin. Agree with you. I can give pause to the undecided. Hey there, I think it's good. He is trying to create an option for the debanked. He was debanked and censored. He has a legitimate concern to have a parallel uncensored financial system. It's called Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Uncensorable, immutable, unconfiscatable, and decentralized. No attack vectors. Unfortunately, this new project has a massive attack vector. Everyone involved, including Trump. So just, you know what I mean? FGG, amen. Fire Gary Gensler. And one of the things Trump said he'd do on day one, fire Gary Gensler, I'm all for it. And he said he would free Ross Ulbricht. First and foremost, I'd rather see Ross Ulbricht freed because I hate injustice. That's first and foremost. And then I'd say get rid of the Gary. No hair, Claire, Gare. Vote Harris and you're off to war front of your drafting age. Corporate media suck, amen. And anybody can have more than 5% of vote under their paradigm in hopes of keeping it decentralized. What happened in 2016 is that they made their own people believe they were winning and they didn't go out. Exactly, because you control the narrative by controlling the perception. So exactly. So common sense is like, oh, no way Trump can win. And then the people who would be voting, oh, there's no need to vote. He already lost. So they're manifesting the reality by presenting the false perception that was never true to begin with. That's why we can't believe anything the media says. And in fact, if they tell you something and everyone's reporting the same and all the, lamestream outlets, you need to question what their agenda is, because typically everything they tell you is wrong and there's a purpose behind it. So you got to put that cap on and think, why do they want us to believe X, Y, Z? Is the news media working in my best interest or somebody else's best interest? Right? I thought the Dems said they were going to fire Gensler. I don't believe them. They'll probably give Gensler a promotion to like vice president or some big secretary position. Bitcoin is government created. Trump wants his own bank. You guys don't get it. Did you even take the time to listen to the entire conversation? I did not. I didn't. I know the Oracle did, but no, I didn't listen to the 2-hour space that he did at all, Joe Buddy. But regardless of who created Bitcoin, it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? It is irrelevant. It is the only immutable, truly decentralized crypto protocol that is unconfiscatable as well. Everything else, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Data, listen to it. Did you? Because what you say makes zero sense, says Data. Maybe X will pay creators in Doge. I wouldn't be interested. In fact, I don't even have monetization turned on X. And they say I'm losing a lot of money. On the decentralized version of the pod, I'll tell you why. I have no desire to get paid from X. I wouldn't accept Doge. I wouldn't even accept US dollars. I don't accept nothing from X. So, is what it is. No hair Gare, that's the guy. That's the one, yo.
It's red panty night when you sanctify me, eh? Back at home with your wife.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. People are always saying about the talk, and I talk, and I talk.
But guess what? I back it up. I back it up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 Sass Commandments.
And shout out everyone just joining the stream. We're live and in the flesh on 3 platforms. We're live on X. I see we got 800 people here right now. We're live on Rumble and we're live on the Tube. I'm just reposting everyone. Shout out Boss33. Crypto News Alerts is now live. Tune in for the best show in crypto. Appreciate it, brother. Just reposted it. Awesome, awesome. Max just tweeted, supply chain terrorism will drive inflation way higher and force central banks to raise rates. This means a higher US dollar, and it also means headwinds for the biddy. Amen. What do you, fiat, ish coins, JB, get paid, man. It's more Hitcoin fuel. I don't do this for the money. If you haven't figured it out, I'm not here for the dollar. I would borrow short-term loans from them. It would be good for people that actually don't have the ability to borrow from a standard bank. Referring to the new DeFi platform, right? But anyways, let's continue with the news. We do got a lot to share. A couple more stories. Here's some bullishness. Let's discuss this 90,000 target from analysts, and then we'll discuss a $220,000 target, and then we'll dive into the live Q&A, and we'll have some fun with the uncensored version of the pod as we do each and every day. So yeah, this headline reads, very close. Former Goldman Sachs executive, I believe Raul Pal, hints at Bitcoin breakout rallies amid rising liquidity. Look at that dragon. Do you know it's 2024 year of the dragon? That's right. Macro guru Raul Pal is suggesting Bitcoin is on the verge of having massive breakout rallies due to one main catalyst. He tells his 1 million followers on X, Bitcoin appears to be rising in tandem with increasing global liquidity. Pal shares a chart comparing global liquidity versus the biddy that suggests Bitcoin may reach 90 Gs by November. Let's freaking go. Quoting him here alongside the chart. Close, very close. Total global liquidity versus the BTC. And in this chart, the red is the BTC and the total global liquidity is in the black, suggesting Bitcoin running up to 90 Gs. Now, in addition, Powell says the historical relationship between Bitcoin and the global money supply, the M2 metric, suggests the top digital asset by market cap is gearing up for a massive breakout. Send it. Very close. Global M2 versus the biddy. Now, Real Vision macro expert Julian Battelle is also saying that the macroeconomic conditions are starting to inject more liquidity into the markets, which tend to be bullish for risk-on assets such as Bitcoin. Quoting them here, hang in there, bulls. It's felt like an eternity trapped in the boring zone, but there's finally some light at the end of the tunnel. Liquidity is on the rise again, and Bitcoin, being extremely sensitive to the changes in liquidity conditions, has the potential to move explosively as fresh liquidity flows into the system. The macro environment is shifting. A major liquidity wave is now on the horizon, and when it hits, Bitcoin looks prime for a strong push higher in Q4. Patience is the name of the game. Now, let me know if you agree or disagree with the macro guru. 90 Gs by November 11th. Holla, and I'll read your comments out loud before we dive into our feature story of the day. Shout out Dwight. Good morning, family. Welcome to the stream. If you don't like it, I don't use it. I will be using the DeFi myself and saving a lot of money on the biddy. Back loans. From someone who has used the Bitcoin back loan, just note, it can have the opposite effect of what you're trying to accomplish. Just telling you from firsthand experience. This house you're looking at was acquired with a Bitcoin back loan. And the reason I got the Bitcoin back loan was I wanted to use less Bitcoin in the end, but it ended up costing me double because the market tanked and I had to avoid a what's called a a margin call, and a liquidation, which would have meant losing all of your collateral. So you just got to be careful and understand the consequences if things don't go according to plan, right? So Green Dragon, I just returned from Asia. That's right. It is the year of the Green Dragon, which is the prosperity dragon. Green is a jade crystal, which represents prosperity. That's right, family. Show hands, anyone who has tried to send the, what is that, free $3 they got from Coinbase and Ethereum, wanted to charge $1,500. What? What's that about? Shout out facts. Their stated primary goal is to make an interface less technical, more user-friendly for DeFi, very intimidating for the primary users. I was talking about my husband about it too. I was thinking 2-year, $350,000 loan at 2%. That would help. Yeah, typically with Bitcoin-backed loans, it's usually a 12-month term. So you got to keep that in mind. So my loan was like large. It was like $800,000. So I had to like put up, what is that, maybe 1.6 million worth of Bitcoin. And if things don't go according to plan, you can lose the whole thing. So you got to consider that. But yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to give you a 30-year loan on a Bitcoin-backed loan. It's typically 12 months from the lenders I'm familiar with, at least. JV, what do you call ish coins and fiat? What do you call it? I don't know. Same thing. They're all ish coins. Using a small part of your stack so you can roll over loans during the bear markets and not be forced to get out of the bad time or liquidate. Greetings from Palmas del Mar. Wow, I lived there for 2 years, brother, when I first moved to Puerto Rico. Palmas is a beautiful community. Admire all the hours you do this. Thanks for doing this. You're very welcome, Remy. It's my honor. This is my way of paying it forward to humanity. I've been blessed in my life, and I'm just paying it forward. Come on, 60 G's. Ouch. Thanks for being truthful. You're welcome, brother. You can roll it over, though, and use less collateral. You have space to flex to do it, pour like water. Well, it's all great if the market is climbing. It doesn't work out in your advantage if the market tanks. So I'll give you a hypothetical. You get a loan before we dive into our feature story. Let's hypothetically say you get a loan today at $60,000, and then your liquidation is at 40. And then let's say Bitcoin drops to 45, and then you got to make a decision. Are you going to pay off the loan before you lose your entire position along with all the collateral and add more Bitcoin? So you better have a lot of Bitcoin stored to save it. Then what if it hits 40 and then you give more Bitcoin and then we drop all the way to 15 and it's impossible to save unless you have hundreds or thousands of Bitcoin to bail yourself out of it like a Michael Saylor. You understand? So when I got my Bitcoin back loan, Bitcoin was 40,000. And then once we hit 30, I got like email saying, if you don't add more collateral, you're going to get liquidated if Bitcoin drops to 25. So I had to make like an executive decision. Do I just keep adding more collateral or do I pay this mofo off? And I made the right decision. I paid it off because if I wouldn't have paid it off, I would have lost everything because we dropped not only to 25, we dropped to like 16. So it was a very scary call with a very high risk. And I never imagined Bitcoin would go down that low. So expect the unexpected was the other big lesson I learned out of it. Because when we went to 69 and dropped to 40, I'm like, this got to be the bottom. Can only go up from here. Opposite happened. So there is risk involved, family. 12 months would work too. It would get us the new administration or out of the country of the camel toe. Exactly. Yeah, all the Bitcoin back loan lenders I know, 12 months is because it's high risk, so they don't typically do more than 12 months. At least I haven't discovered one who does a term longer than 12 months yet. And I'm so sorry about your experience, JB. I get that it don't work well in bearish few years. You have to use smaller stack. Yeah, I mean, most people aren't doing, $800,000 loans. Maybe they do 80,000, 8,000. Whatever you do, if you lost it all, it'd be smart where you wouldn't lose sleep over it. Like if you needed a few $1,000s and you get a loan for 12 months, but I'm just telling you from firsthand experience, it was extremely risky because it was a big loan. We're talking millions of dollars. So, it is what it is. But don't feel sorry. It worked out for me in the end. It could have been worse. I now own my house free and clear. So, can't complain. And I did get some of my collateral back. I didn't lose it. So I just made the right move last minute. Anyways, let's dive into our feature story of the day. Welcome everyone joining the stream. We got 900 people here live and in the flesh. Let me sip some more water and we'll continue with the feature story. We'll discuss the $220,000 target. Correct. Memes are now a crime. It's crazy, right? Now for our feature story of the day, fam. Crypto Strategist unveils big Bitcoin price target for 2025 of $220,000 per coin and predicts the US dollar collapse along the way. Let's break this baby down and welcome everyone just joining the live stream. Closely followed Crypto Strategist thinks the biddy is now raring to ignite the next phase of the bull market. I agree. I think fourth quarter we're going to rise. We're talking here about synonymous analyst Calio, who shared on X that Bitcoin is now in a position to launch rallies that will last until the end of 2025. The trader shares an inverse Bitcoin chart suggesting that Bitcoin will hit the trend line of his logarithmic growth curve by next year to soar to his massive price target of around $220,000, as outlined here in the chart. All right, I'm giving in. Be more bullish. Of course. Now looking at the chart, this is an inverse chart. He seems to suggest Bitcoin tends to witness a steep rally a few months after his halving event when Bitcoin miner rewards are slashed in half. And we officially had the halving on April 19th, close enough to 420. Zooming in, Calio thinks Bitcoin will consolidate for a few more days before sparking surges that take out multiple resistance levels. And again, the current all-time high is 73.8, which we achieved mid-March. So that's where we need to re-enter to get back to price discovery. That's when things get exciting. And in my personal opinion, I think that's when a lot of the retail will join us for this cycle when we hit a new all-time high. So based on this chart, you can see on your screen, the analyst appears to predict Bitcoin will hit new all-time highs by early next month. October, bro. We're only a few weeks out. Let's go. And as for the US dollar currency index, known as the DXY, the trader believes it has already topped out, poised to move to much lower levels at around 72 in 2026. Quoting him here, imagine if the path on this DXY chart I drew 19 months ago continues to play out perfectly. Just imagine. Just imagine. He initially made a call for the DXY collapse in May of 2023. DYX has been following his outlined price path ever since. The DXY is a metric that tracks the value of the US dollar against a basket of major fiat currencies. A plummeting DXY is typically bullish for risk assets such as stocks and crypto, suggesting investors are spending their dollars to accumulate the risk assets. I mean, those who treat fiat as a store of value, what do we call them, folks?
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
Oh, and by the way, family, welcome everyone to the stream. This is a Q&A segment. Let me know your thoughts and predictions regarding the $220,000 target. I'm going to read as many of your comments out loud. Got to pay to play, but it's not 100%. You have to put on some risk. Of course, there's always risk. Nice that you own your own home. Thank you, Shortcoin. I am blessed. If I had a good income, I would just DCA. I don't. So I borrow and trade MSTR style. Big target, US dollars devaluing, but won't collapse soon. Overall, there's no longer the fiction section of the bookstore in Cali in its current events. $1 billion Bitcoin sale. I get the paper cup deal. Good. At last, Shrugged is almost nonfiction too. Retail always joins when we hit a new all-time high. That is way the normies think. Exactly. I think they're programmed to be that way. Just think in a few years' time, you can smile when you look back and think you can buy your house with only one Bitcoin. I understand that. I'm well aware. Because if I would have bought the house a couple of years prior, it would have cost me 5 times the amount of Bitcoin. And then obviously, as the years go on, one Bitcoin will be $1 million. And I could have just said, hey, you know what I mean? What? I pay 30 times more. But that's just the reality of how things play, because how it's working is Bitcoin's accumulating purchasing power every year, or I should say every cycle, more accurate, because we do have bearish years. So every cycle, Bitcoin's gaining tremendous purchasing power against the dollar, and the dollar's doing the opposite every year. So Bitcoin continues to go up, dollar continue to go down in purchasing power. So that is so true. I will look back one day and be like, damn it, why'd I spend all that? You know what I mean? But again, you got to do what you got to do. DXY daily chart looks like crap, but the weekly tells a different story. 225,000 end of the year. Put the coffee in the paper cup and drink them. Bote Sogar. Put the coffee in the paper cup. You feel better. A 0.25% or a 0.5% interest rate decrease? I don't know. Jade Powell speaks in about an hour. Is Bitcoin a good stock? I don't look at Bitcoin as a stock. I look at it as Ethereum as a stock or MicroStrategy as a stock. Bitcoin's on its own vector. Love the girl who holds the world in a paper cup, but don't drink it. If you do, you will be a poison suck. Pretty much.
People that use fiat.
What do we call them, folks? Vote Harris and pay unrealized gains on anything you can sell, including your Bitcoin. Exactly. If you're looking forward to paying unrealized gains on investments, including crypto and real estate, vote Harris by any means necessary. I mean, I live in Puerto Rico for a reason. I don't like capital gains tax. So obviously, if you guys voted her into office, I just speak collectively as the whole United States, doesn't affect me. But I feel sorry for everyone that has to pay.
Currency as a store of
What do we call them, folks?
value. We call them core.
Surge, 225,000, 750,000 Bitcoin in 2025. Amen. Investing in the future with the Bitcoin, lead the way. It is not a stock. That is why people miscalculate. Everything is not rare compared to Bitcoin. It is finite, unlike every stock, bond, and commodity. You got it right, facts.
We call them core. People.
Yeah, let's end the poll. Let's see what you guys voted. There's 1,000 people on the stream right now. Welcome, everyone. When $100,000 Bitcoin? When do you think? Let's see what you guys had to share. If you haven't voted, go ahead and vote before I end it. And I'll read you the results.
That use fiat.
All right, the results are in. Wow, the majority of you say we're not going to hit 100,000 until next year. Good to note. I hope you're wrong, obviously, but thank you for sharing. 27% of you say December, 22% of you say October, and 21% of you say November, and that's based on 257 votes. Thank you, guys. I'd be cleaning in the asylum in a Bitcoin-friendly country if Kamala Toe gets elected. Investing in the future. Let's ride that wave, baby. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to end the tube and continue with the uncensored version of the pod. We're going to do a live reacts to the new Y files. And if Chandy joins us, we'll play the new music video she created. So let's manifest Chandy again. Investing in the future, you got to do what you got to do. All right. So, yeah, we're going to end the YouTube transmission. If you're on YouTube, you ain't got to go home, but head on over to the Rumble. Again, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And let's get ready to rumble, yo. Cool. The YouTube stream should be ending any moment. 100,000 back.